Welcome to this edition of India Means Innovation, where we discuss the technologically complex innovations coming out of India. Today, we have with us Piyush Jain, Chief Technology Officer of L&T Technology Services. L&T Technology Services is a global leader in engineering and technology services. Welcome, Piyush.
Pleasure to be here, Aditya.
Piyush, engineering design is the cornerstone of engineering innovation. And LTTS has come up with a further innovation that makes design more efficient and more easy. Can you tell us about that?
Ever since the advent of AI, particularly generative AI, I think the world has started seeing a lot of exciting stuff that is possible. I think exploring generative AI on how it can help in designing products better and faster is something that's exciting us a lot.
So before we come to the generative AI part of it, can you tell us about the problems in traditional design process?
The problems in traditional design processes that it's still a very intensive and a lot of human manual intervention is needed. In product engineering in particular, what happens is that the diversity of the work and the workflows is very complex. If you look at automotive or if you look at industrial products, they follow the same cycle, but the domain intensity of how it is done is very different. And the diversity of tool sets also makes it very complex. Customers are looking at how AI can help them do things faster. Second, they are also under pressure like software. Software has changed the paradigm in how things can be done faster, and what used to take 12 months, 18 months earlier is taking 3 months now. So same pressures are being felt by the product companies also in the traditional sense, either automotive companies or industrial companies and so on. So with those kind of pressures, I think they're looking at how these new technologies around AI can support in bringing down those cycle times, bring a lot more automation to the activities that are being done in the life cycle. Harnessing tribal knowledge of data continues to be a big challenge in the engineering industry. A lot of intelligence is actually residing here in the experience of the engineer, and that is not documented in any shape or form which can be leveraged by, let's say, the new engineers who are coming on board. So the time it takes to bring up the experience for the new engineer to understand how the designs have to be upgraded or new designs have to be done still takes a considerable amount of time. And this is where we feel tools like AI and generative AI can actually help harness the tribal knowledge that is there and help the engineers pick up things much faster than what they used to do earlier. I think that's going to be one big advantage that you see as AI gets more and more into this cycle.
So tell us about this generative AI based platform that L&T Technology Services has developed.
We realized that there is scope of generative AI based smart assistants to help them on those activities. So we started building a platform called Plex AI, which we have recently launched, which is nothing but a product development lifecycle platform to host multiple generative AI based smart assistants, which can help in different stages of the cycle.
So what's the time advantage in this that you get using generative AI?
I will put it in two parts, Aditya. The first phase of building the assistant is an intensive exercise. It takes a lot of planning and iteration to understand how the activities and workflows are defined, how the data is stored and harnessed, and how do you build these smart assistants, because one of the key things that you have to understand, domain centricity is very critical in product engineering, and none of the language models understand domain by nature, right? So how do you train the model to be domain compliant is an intensive exercise. Once you set that in place, as it starts getting deployed, then you start seeing significant amount of benefits with the time. So I would say once we have started putting it into action where engineers have started using it, the time savings are anywhere between 20 to 30% to start with, and progressively as the model gets more mature, the engineers get more comfortable with using the model, this will start increasing. I would also say that the engineers need some amount of time to trust the model, because the activities that they've been doing for so long, they still do not believe that AI is able to give them the same level of output that they are experiencing. So as they iterate through this, build confidence and trust, I think there will be a mutual gain in terms of the model performing, and the engineers started seeing savings of time.
When we talk about generative AI, people talk about hallucinations and biases. Do you find that problem in engineering domain as well?
Yes, to an extent. In fact, that's the very reason when we started the exercise, the language model by nature is not suited for engineering. I'll put it that way. So we had to do a lot of work to make sure that the language understands the domain. I think the domain centricity in the engineering work is very critical because everything is centered around the domain of the product that you're trying to build. So how do you do that? How do you build RAGs based models where the domain knowledge is captured? And like I said, we have also tried to combine traditional and conventional AI along with generative AI, so that a lot of inferences that you get out of the data using conventional AI are fed into the model to bring the domain understanding into the model. And now with agentic AI coming in, where you're also bringing reasoning into it and trying to bring a little bit of autonomy in the way workflows are done, I think the world looks very exciting going forward.
And this entire platform has been conceptualized, designed, architected, and created by your team here in India.
Absolutely. Like I said, we have been working on product engineering lifecycle for many years now. So a lot of our PDLC experts actually have been working to conceptualize and design and implement this platform. So it's absolutely done here, right here in India with our PDLC experts.
And you have been working with global engineering OEMs to use this. And the more it is used, the better it gets.
Yes, the more you use it, the more maturity will come in. Like I said, both on the AI assistant side, also on the user base side. Both need to be making sure that they get mature in their understanding of how this is going to benefit.
This is a wonderful example, Piyush, of India means innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Pleasure.